I personally cost Gillette $8 billion.
Mr. Reagan.
All right, I personally didn't maybe cost them $8 billion, but you guys definitely did. Gillette has been producing these identity politics ads. You guys probably remember the viral one where it was basically just like, all men are horrible people and they need to be better. We can do better, man. Come on. And it was kind of like preaching to guys that, like, you know, you can do better. You're all horrible people. All right, now before we go any further, I need to encourage you to get a VPN. It's the year 2019. If you're not using a VPN by now for your desktop, tablet, or mobile device while you're browsing the internet, then you're really exposing yourself to a lot of potential danger. You, at some point, will have heard of a VPN, but what is a VPN? A VPN is a virtual private network that allows you to create a secure connection to another network over the internet. VPNs can be used to access region-restricted websites. If you want to see a show that's only available in the UK, you can do that through a VPN. But it also shields your browsing activity from prying eyes on public Wi-Fi and more, like the government, for instance. Here, let me show you how easy this is. Go to www.virtualshield.com, download the free 30-day trial, install it, and click Connect. Once I'm connected, my IP address completely changes. In other words, if you don't want websites, the government, advertisers, or just your annoying roommates to know what websites you're visiting or what location you're visiting them from, you need to invest in a VPN. I personally use VirtualShield because it's the easiest, fastest, and most secure VPN on the market. They don't store logs on their servers, and I trust them. Trust me, you will be pleased with this service. And you really shouldn't be surfing the internet without a VPN. It's kind of like driving without a seatbelt, risky business. This month, VirtualShield is offering a 4th of July celebration special for 20% off all VPN plans and all premium add-ons, including Protection Plus, residential access, monthly maintenance, phone service, and VIP performance plans for as low as $3 per month. Sign up for a free 30-day trial to VirtualShield VPN and see what all the hype is about. You have nothing to lose. Go to virtualshield.com/Mr. Reagan or click on the link below. All right, now back to the video. I imagine that the Gillette people thought they were doing something good, trying to help out the world in some way, but it was incredibly insulting. It's kind of like when movies throw in like a theme about racism or like gay rights or something like that to try to encourage Americans to be, less bigoted. And we're all sitting there, we're not bigoted, we're not racist, we're not homophobic, and we're watching this and we're thinking, okay, yeah, thanks for just assuming that we're all racist homophobes. That's great, Hollywood. The same thing kind of went for this ad. So I took the liberty of doing a parody of this Gillette ad, and it was very successful. It was actually my most successful video before the AOC video obviously really blew up. It was sort of the parody for this ad. If you don't remember it or you haven't seen it, here is the parody that I did.
Hey, look everybody. Our first shot is of a stoic black man. This guy's ashamed of himself for being white and a man. Look at this guy, he's about to cry. He's not only white and man, but he's also old. Disgusting. Is this the best a man can get? A soulless ginger? Gillette. We know that most of you men in America are unaware of this, so we at Gillette are here to educate you. Bullying is mean and bad. No, seriously though, bullying is really bad and mean. Okay, is this kid who's hugging his mom calling her a loser and saying everybody hates you? That's kind of mean, kid. I don't. And how do they not see these other kids running through their house? Do they just not care, or I don't really understand what's happening here. Look at this sexist cartoon. We had to stage this because we couldn't find any archival footage of men harassing women, so we had to invent some. People partying is bad. Don't party. Look at these nerds watching TV. Here's more of that sitcom that never actually existed, and some people we hired to pretend to laugh at it. Speaking of douchey and evil, look at this guy. Look at him mansplaining all over the place. Disgusting. That's you, men. That's all American men. We at Gillette, we don't like this. We're good people at Gillette. Look, another soulless ginger. This time he's fighting with his brother. Boys are so evil. They must have learned this from their toxically masculine fathers. Gillette disapproves of fathers. Gillette disapproves of gingers. They have no soul. Gillette disapproves of the term, boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys.
We think you use it to excuse everything. Rapists. Look everybody, the voice of reason, Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks. She's not a batshit crazy radical feminist, we promise. Wow, this old white guy is getting so woke right now. And this ethnically ambiguous dude is already woke. Just look at him, look how woke he is. This kid's also woke, he's probably gay. Black kid's woke, this is an ally. Never mind the fact that he's talking about being harassed himself and not women being harassed, but whatever.
Smile, sweetie.
Whoa, That fat white guy totally just told that girl to smile, sweetie. What an asshole. And then he was confronted by that heroic black guy. Wow, we at Gillette are so awesome.
To act the right way.
Whoa, more white guys being stopped from catcalling girls by black guys. This is so realistic. Real life footage of men being woke. Wow, look at this dad stopping his boys from fighting. That never happens in America in real life. We're so glad that we created this fiction for you to educate you men on how you should actually be. Did those other boys mess up your hair? Because that's pretty much all it looked like they did. My daddy just stopped those boys from messing up this boy's hair. He's a hero. Gillette does not approve of soulless gingers. Gillette, we virtue signal better than anybody. Gillette, ridding the world of toxic masculinity. Everybody should vote Democrat. Gillette, Gillette, we're so awesome. Buy our razors. Don't go to Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club is toxically masculine. Gillette, we're the best. Gillette is the best. Gillette. Gillette.
So anyway, that was my Gillette parody that I did for that really obnoxious ad that they had put out. And the funny thing is, I actually put out 3 parody ads for Procter & Gamble, because Procter & Gamble, before this Gillette ad, had actually done another virtue signaling ad, which I think was even worse than the one about men being horrible. It was about how black people are horribly oppressed and they have to be scared all the time, and white people are evil. And check this out. This is the parody I did of the Procter & Gamble ad that I think was even worse than the Gillette ad. Here's that.
Who said that?
The lady at the store.
The white lady.
That is not a compliment.
You should learn now at a young age. All white people are evil.
Listen.
Look at these white boys chasing this black boy. Bullying is something that we at Procter & Gamble like to show in all of our ads, because we believe this will evoke an emotional response.
It's an ugly, nasty word, and you are going to hear it.
She's talking about the N-word.
Nothing I can do about that. But you are not going to let that word hurt you.
Instead, you're going to use words like racism as a weapon.
There are some people who think you don't deserve the same privileges just because of what you look like.
Society hates you for being black.
It's not fair.
White people are evil.
It's not.
You should hate them.
Remember, you can do anything they can.
Except run fast. Ironic, isn't it?
Difference is you gotta work twice as hard and be twice as smart.
Actually, because of affirmative action laws, you have to work half as hard and be half as smart.
Come straight home after practice. You got your ID? Oh, guess I stopped you.
This is actually good advice for anyone. It's not really a racial thing.
How's your review?
We're good.
You good?
Yeah,
You see?
We're good.
Okay. Good. Now, when you get pulled over,
I'm a good driver. Okay?
baby,
Don't worry.
this is not about you getting a ticket. This is about you not coming home.
Never mind that black women make up only 1% of police shootings, and white women are 3 times more likely to be shot by police. Never mind that. We want to drive home our message that America is deeply racist against black people. Listen to this sad music. We chose this music so that you could feel just how evil your white racism is, America.
You are not pretty for a black girl. You are beautiful, period.
This is an important message. Whenever you hear a white person tell a little black girl that she's pretty, they always say, for a black girl. You hear it all the time. I hear it every day. It's disgusting. Let's all talk about the talk. The talk that every black parent has to have with their black child, which is that white people are all evil racists and can't be trusted. Procter & Gamble, exacerbating division and hatred since 1837. And remember, gingers have no soul. White people are evil and they are racist. Everybody hate them, everyone hate them. Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble.
So that was, I actually think that one was the worst ad that they ever did. And then after all of that, Gillette hadn't figured out yet that everybody hated them. So they then produced a third horrible ad about a trans woman. I don't know if they call him a trans woman or trans man. Anyways, there's a girl pretending to be a guy. And she had been taking, obviously, she'd been taking some kind of hormones, and she'd grown some peach fuzz, and she had asked her dad to teach her how to shave. And it was sort of this like father-daughter, father-son moment type thing where the dad was teaching this girl to shave for the first time, shave her face. And it was supposed to be this loving moment, but it just came across as so virtue signaling and just, it was so political. I mean, the ads were so political. It was just like, Gillette, are you trying to get every conservative in the world to hate you? That's what it felt like. It was really bizarre. It was like Gillette felt like, for whatever reason, that it was their duty to inject the world with their ethics, and that the rest of us just needed to shut up and listen and obey, right? So we all, of course, rejected it. Anyway, I'll give you a look at the transgender shaving ad parody that I made. So this is that.
You'd think that we, here at Gillette, would have learned our lesson about virtue signaling when we posted the anti-man ad earlier this year. But we're back, and we're social justicing bigger and badder than ever. If you're a woman pretending to be a man, we want to celebrate you.
Growing up, I was always trying to figure out what kind of man I wanted to become, and I'm still trying to figure out what kind of man that I want to become.
A woman. That's the kind of man you will become. That's it. Because you're a woman.
I always knew I was different. I didn't know that there was a term for the type of person that I was.
Yeah, there is a term. It's woman. That's the term for what you are. I literally just told you that.
I went into my transition just wanting to be happy. I'm glad I'm at the point where I'm able to shave.
Lots of women are at the point where they're able to shave. They don't typically think of it as a good thing. You are happy about it, so good for you, lady.
South, south, north, north, east, west, never in a hurry.
North, south, east, what the f***? What the f*** is that shit? This is not how you shave, ladies. I think this chick's dad is f***ing with her.
Now don't be scared. Don't be scared. Shaving is about being confident.
This is the way that Gillette thinks everyone should be with trans people. Accept them and teach them to shave. If you have any concerns about your daughter pretending to be a boy, then you're a bigot and you should be demonetized on YouTube.
I'm at the point in my manhood where I'm actually happy. It's not just myself transitioning, it's everybody around me transitioning.
Yes, the world revolves around you because you decided to do something unusual. Everyone else has to transition to accommodate you and your life choice. Just like this woman is transitioning into a man, Gillette is transitioning too. We used to be a men's razor company, but we're transitioning into a social justice factory. We mass produce social justice on an industrial scale. For context, look at what we used to be.
Pee-wee Reese has a way with Dodger rookies or Sandlot youngsters. Pee-wee, you do a lot of work with boys.
Not work, Al. I like baseball and kids. I enjoy helping teenagers start right.
Well, that's around shaving age, and you give them pointers on personal appearance, too?
Yes. A boy has more self-respect when he's clean-shaved. I tell him to use a Gillette razor, Al.
You said it, the Gillette Superspeed razor. And today there are 3. Light for sensitive skin and most younger men. Regular for average skin and beard. Heavy for men who like the heft and feel of a heavier razor. Each is different, precisely engineered. One has the right blade edge exposure, edge angle, and weight to shave you in a breeze. Comfortable, good-looking shaves you may never have had before.
Not anymore. Those disgusting, misogynistic, patriarchal days are over. Here at Gillette, we've realized that our razors can't handle the thick, full beards of real men, so we're transitioning to the wispy peach fuzz of the trans market. Gillette, the razor for the woman who wants to pretend to be a man.
Gillette, Gillette, Gillette.
Nike, just do it.
So anyway, those are my 3 ads that I made, and 2 of them, the second one that I did, the Procter & Gamble one, and the third one I did, the transgender one, neither of those really blew up big time, because I don't think either of those ads were really viral. But the sort of men are horrible one, the first one, that one really did go viral. So I don't think that the other 2 really had a huge impact, but I think that first parody really helped push this loss that P&G is reporting, Procter & Gamble is reporting now. So let me read a little bit on this article. There's an article on Town Hall about this. The article's entitled, "Woke to Broke. Gillette loses billions after anti-men transgender shaving ads." So let's read the article here. It says, well, it turned out men don't like to be insulted and classified as overly masculine, raging sexists, and they're dumping the brand. Gillette's social justice moral preening cost them $8 billion. Procter & Gamble reported a net loss of about $5.2 billion due to an $8 billion non-cash write-down of Gillette. So that was from Reuters, that last bit. And let's go ahead and read some of the Twitter posts that the townhall.com, who wrote this article, they posted some Twitter posts. Let's have a look at those. John Cardillo writes, Gillette bleeding as Procter & Gamble takes $8 billion write-down. Maybe those moronic identity politics ad campaigns had something to do with this. The Voice of Reason writes, Gillette will never see a dime from me for the rest of my life. Same for Procter & Gamble. Get woke, go broke. Looks good on them. Burnt Rubber writes, I don't buy Gillette anymore because as a straight white male, I'm a violent rapist or something. Haven't bought Gillette since the ad. Plus, why would I want a heated shave in the hot summer days? I don't get your stupid tweet. That's in reference to a tweet that Gillette put out promoting what looks like a heated razor blade, a heated like a razor thing. And it says, hot summer days calls for a luxurious heated shave, which doesn't make any sense. You'd think like a cold winter night would call for a heated shave or something. I don't know. But for whatever reason, they're pushing this heated razor in the summertime, which is a little bit crazy. Anyway, look, I don't know how much I contributed to the $8 billion loss, but I like to think I contributed a little bit. Now, I wanted to contrast this with the boycotts that were going on with currently with Equinox and SoulCycle. Right? Apparently, the owner of Equinox and SoulCycle had contributed to the Trump campaign in some way. He likes Trump. He's a Democrat, I think, but he likes Trump. And so some people found out about this, and now there's this big boycott. And look, when this ad came out, I didn't tell people not to buy Gillette. Okay, there's all these people tweeting pictures of themselves throwing razors in the garbage and stuff like that. And I actually did that too, as a response to everybody else doing it, because I just thought it was fun. But I never instructed anybody to throw out their Gillette. Like, I didn't create the boycott, and neither did anybody else that I saw on YouTube. Neither did anybody from Fox. Trump certainly didn't say anything about it. This was a groundswell of, I guess, whatever the opposite of support is, derision toward Gillette. This was like a real reaction from the people against Gillette. Whereas with Equinox and SoulCycle, this is a top-down movement. This is not a bottom-up movement. It's not just everybody reacting naturally. You see people on CNN and MSNBC telling their viewers, don't go to SoulCycle, don't go to Equinox. Back when they had the whole Chick-fil-A thing, it was the same thing. All of the political pundits, people that are respected by leftist voters, they were telling them, and politicians as well, they're telling them, don't go to these places. Don't give your money to these companies, right? Whereas on the right, we don't really say that. There's nobody is telling you not to buy Gillette. You just aren't doing it because you realize that Gillette's a terrible company on your own, right? The only thing that I did is I made a parody video. I thought it was a funny video. People liked it. People agreed with me, and we all stopped buying Gillette. I stopped buying Gillette just because I was irritated with them. I didn't do it because of the movement. I did it for myself. And I think that's a huge difference between the right and the left. People on the right, we think for ourselves. We're not just lemmings listening to our dictators. We're thinking for ourselves. We're making our choices based on how we feel. Whereas the left, they're led by the political pundits on CNN, on MSNBC. They're led by the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes, the Nancy Pelosi's, the people who are telling them what to do and how to act. And I think that's a terrible way to live. And I think that's actually terrible of them to try to destroy these companies in this way. I would never do that. I'm glad that Gillette's taking a hit. I did not instruct anybody to do it, but I'm glad that maybe I caused a dent in Procter & Gamble because of what they've done. I think Gillette used to be an awesome company. I've seen some old ads that they did. Very masculine, very cool. That is not what they are today. All right, well, that's it for me. I hope you liked revisiting some of my old videos. And remember, it isn't that our liberal friends are ignorant. It's just that they know so much. That isn't so. Good night.
We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening.